Thanks very much. Here's Stephen Brunt. And what a moment when Trevor Bauer came out of the ball game, because everything was up in the air, and perhaps his own personal history, given the strange events that have happened in the past, and people remember the injuries, whether it's a jinx, whether it's anything else, superstition. But they bailed him out, and not only that, perhaps tipped the series, because this was the opportunity for the Blue Jays.
It was an enormous opportunity, Brad. Trevor Bauer, the number 2 pitcher in a depleted Cleveland Indians rotation, goes out in the first inning. Terry Francona has to make it up on the fly, and you have no idea whether Bauer could or will reappear in this series. Advantage Blue Jays in a game where, if you look at the pitching matchups down the road, if the Jays had won, this series tips very much in the balance of the Jays and their deep rotation, but it wasn't to be.
We saw the long arm of the law, as it were, in Cleveland close this game out, but true to Terry Francona's word, he uses him when he needs him, and tonight was flipped a little bit.
It's interesting that he actually used his closer, Cody Allen, in a high-leverage situation before closing out the game with Andrew Miller. It's a nice thing, a nice luxury to have, having those two guys who can both close games. But Francona was creative all the way through. And though I guess one thing we have to talk about, Brad, is yes, he did a great job matching up his pitchers, but the Blue Jays didn't hit. The biggest hits in this game were from Saunders, from Ezekiel Carrera. The big bats, by and large, were silent. And that's been the story. That was the story through the month of September. And when they've struggled, that has been the story all year long.
After being a murderer's row in round one, just 3 runs in this one. So a 3-0 deficit. Obviously, it's not stacked in the Blue Jays' favor, but it can change very quickly if they win Game 4.
It's been done. It's a long shot. Everybody knows it's a long shot. But if you beat Kluber in Game 4, again, you get into the depth of the Jays' rotation versus the Indians having to make up their rotation essentially as they go along. Maybe Kluber back for a Game 7, but beyond that, who knows how they're going to do it. But coming back from 0-3 is nearly impossible in baseball or in any other sport.
AL East recognized as baseball's best division. The Cleveland Indians don't care. They are 6-0 against the AL East in October.